Good evening, Commanders. Omni Kai, Soldier First Class, reporting for duty. Today, we're going to go in here and take on Apoc 2, see what kind of score we can get. I was talking to one of my guild members, and they suggested try to use Volca as a tank. I was using Livian. I'll throw a picture of it real quick. But I decided to take her out, use Volca. Instead, just build it with high HP. I'll show all the stats at the end. At least like HP, attack, crit damage, attack speed on each of the units. And I'll just show that at the end of the video. I'm mainly running a watch guard team. Important things to note, I did bring Carnelian. She's going to help in almost every phase to keep my people alive. Just give them that extra life and then re-put the life on. So she's fully skilled up. In Apoc 2, everybody should probably be skilled up to the max, in my opinion. There's certain skills that you could, skip over. But Carnelian, she's just going to be covering everybody best she can. Make sure all your DPS is in constance range. At least. So everything's going slow right now. Just see my placements. And then I'm going to fast forward through the clip. Because it's just me going through the Apoc 2 run. My last score that I did get was a little over 60K, like 69K. But now, since I swapped out Livian, and I'm going to use Volca as a tank, we're going to see what happens. Alrighty. I do think that I'm missing certain key units to hit 120. But like Alistair, if I had Alistair, that'd be great going with Ingrid on my watch guard team. Once Sun Wukong comes out, bro, my watch guard team is going to go hard. So I'm going to save for him. And I'll show a video like how I'm saving for future units, but I'm also not handicapping myself because I'm still able to pull, every week or every couple of weeks if there's good units out on a banner. So I'll go through that and explain my process. Always get your limited heroes, just like Kagiri. They're guaranteed, they're free. Those are the only ones that you're guaranteed to get. They will go hard in almost all content. I would use less, but I really don't have a Nightmare team. Like I don't have Torador. And I also don't have Arrogance. So it's better just to use a Watchguard team and then use support like Mari, Elder. He's my first Legendary Lord, but he's okay. I'm just using him for like a DPS unit. And then I guess he helps Mari out. But she's there just for like the stuns. I was using Livian for stuns too. She does have a skill that helps. But Volca's able to do a better job. Not a better job at tanking, but a decent job. And Mari can handle most of the stuns. Also, my Lucius, he is A4. I just keep getting him back to back every time I pull something. Nothing new. But it's helping. So he provides stuns too. The most important things about this comp is, yes, you can swap out like different DPS units, but Constance, Pharisee, Carnelian, they are pillars in this comp. Pharisee definitely, I think it's almost impossible to get 120K without Pharisee. And I think just Pharisee. Pharisee is like a requirement. But everybody else can kind of be swapped around if you have those units, Like other people, they might be able to get away with using Dolores instead of Constance on different teams. Because they have different tanks. They have different units that apply stuns, like a Torador. They do stuns that also can tank multiple roles. But I'm kind of limited, and I'll go through my roster and I'll show you guys too. On Saturday, I will be doing my summons, and I'll also be testing, the Fred method that everybody's been talking about. That's all I see now. Everybody's commenting on it. But I'll test it out. We'll see what happens. I did go through and count mine in my previous video, and it did seem like every fourth divine, I would pop a Lego, unless there was like something else going on, like a ×2 event. So we'll go through that tomorrow. We'll see what my summons look like. Hopefully I get Valeria and or Hasset. I have neither of them, and they will help a lot into my gear raids, my gear dungeons. Gear raids, I'm already done. I got 21 on all of them, so we'll see. Check back in on Apoc. We are hitting 50K now. That's good. It doesn't look like we're in danger too much. Just keep pushing. If you are using Carnelian for your guild boss runs, then for timing wise and also for Pharisee, like I build them with a lot of rage regen and HP so that way they can survive. But a lot of attack speed, a lot of rage regen, and whenever you think you're gonna die, my timings aren't the best, and I'm sure I could like optimize it, put it on ×1, and then slow click when the saw comes down and everything else, because their ultimates last for just a short period of time, like 8 seconds or almost instant for Carnelians. But whenever I see them coming down, like I'll do it a half a second or a second before, like I'll tap their ultimates just to make sure it's going off. But I'll work on my timings, and maybe next week or a couple weeks I'll be hitting 120, especially if I get like different heroes to help me out with more damage, really, probably. That's all I really need, just to blast through some of the phases. But I'll keep working on it. I'll keep experimenting, especially now since I'm doing more videos. I'll dig deeper into some of these fights, see if like there's different ways or ways to optimize it to improve and show you guys. Awesome. One good thing about using a watchguard team, I've noticed that watchguards don't really rely too much on rage regen. There's probably a few other ones that was released previous, but like the newer ones, Ingrid, you don't really need rage regen. She's there for a job. You don't have to like touch her. You don't have to build a rage regen on her. Same thing with Lucis. If you're using Kagiri for the dispels and not Lucis, then you don't need rage regen. He's easier to build. You just build him for speed and just let him do his thing. Start tearing things up. Elowen, super important. If you do not have an Elowen, I don't even think you can get over 80K in Apoc 2. I am working on getting her A3. I did buy the Soulstone, so she's A2. I didn't level up yet. I'm waiting for the tournament, and then I normally just level all my heroes up then. She's so important, and so much content. It's crazy. Like, if I didn't have Elowen, it's almost impossible to push. Just to push certain content. So yeah, that's the whole Elowen problem that we see going around. However, that gives the game longevity. You know what I mean? Like, that gives you something to look for, to hunt for, instead of just, wailing out, buying everything. Take your time. I've been playing for 250 days. If I play for another 250 days, it gives me something to do. Still hunting for certain heroes that you really need throughout the game. And they're going to keep, making new ones. Let's see. 70K? Awesome. All right. That's a lot higher than, not a lot higher, but that's one of my higher runs that I've done. And that's putting in Volca. I'm sure she also helps with the damage reduction. So if I had Torador, if I would have pulled last weekend, used my pity, you never know, I would have had him. But then, do I need Torador? I'm not rushing it. That's my thing. I'm not trying to blow past all the content and finish the game, and then I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs. So I take my time. I like to pick and choose who I'm getting, especially now that I have Ingrid. So when you get your first exclusive legendary lord that's game-changing, top tier, then it's kind of like, well, I'm going to just build my team around her. And I think I'm going to make a video about that too. Like, should you pick a main faction? Is it beneficial? Or should you just try to get everybody more well stuff? Let's see. What we doing? Pushing 80K? Nice. I have noticed that I've been getting killed quite often though. So I don't know how much further we're going to push. Carnelian has to keep applying, her lives. So now we're getting to the point where I'm taking so much damage that I don't know if Carnelian's going to be able to keep up. So either I need more HP or I need to be able to blast through the phases faster, more DPS. Alistair would come in clutch right now. Man, I could take out Elder and then put in Alistair if I ever got him. I did miss that shard summoning event, and that's why it's so important. If they come out with shard summons, fusions, it's really just activity based. Just log into the game. Maybe you might have to win a tournament or two. I'm not sure, but most times there's like extra summons and shards so that you can just have enough to collect everybody. And it's not too bad. It does time consuming, but it's not that bad. Everyone should be able to do it. Free to play, whales, spenders, whoever. You should always be able to get your summons, your shard summons or your fusions. Guaranteed heroes, guaranteed legendaries. They will help you out somewhere. Even if it's 6 months from now. You know what I mean? If I would have stuck to my plan originally, I did change it. I got greedy on the ×2 banner on the rate up, ×2 by 15 when Kagiri was out. I was gonna try to get like 2 copies of Kagiri or at least A2 or A1, but I got tempted by that ×2. I kept pulling on it. You know what I hit? I hit like 3 Razaks back to back and then like 2 Lucius. So mad. But that's who I was saving up for, and I messed up my plan, so I just got to tighten that up. So next limited hero, I'll show you what I was going to do to hopefully try to get more copies, but also try to pity manipulate at the same time. But that would only be for the limited heroes. So maybe, well, I'm saving for Sun Wukong, and I'll show that when it happens. So February, I don't know. It's going to be a while, so if you're not planning on saving for a long time for him, then you know, just put like a little bit aside and just keep pulling on the weekends, build your roster. It's fine. Boom, complete. I am still learning because I do apologize that the fight, it wasn't fast forward like halfway through or something. I forgot to fast forward it as I was doing like a split or an edit. But I'm working on that, guys. Bear with me. I'm learning new things. I am getting better at editing videos, getting them up in a timely manner. But I'll go through, I'll show you the stats and the gear. You can slow it down. Some are in broken sets, some aren't, but this is going to be sped up for you. So pretty much I'll just show the stats. You can look at like the sets right here if they are complete. And you can just see like the attack, the speed, and go ahead. See you guys.